It's kind of funny when you think about it. Fans have been pointing out the problems with comic book movies at the box office for years now, but the media has been slow to catch up. Every time a new release comes out, there always seems to be some attempt to spin it into a success, no matter how badly it actually performs. Take Captain America, Brave New World, for example. It opened poorly and went on to flop even harder. Then there's Thunderbolts, which had an even worse start and earned less than Brave New World. Or look at this past summer. Two highly anticipated films launched with underwhelming debuts. Superman held on a bit better domestically, but collapsed overseas, while Fantastic Four stumbled both at home and abroad. Despite that, headlines tried to paint the situation as if everything was great. Oh wow, this is amazing, until the actual numbers came out. Unlike years past, there wasn't a surprise juggernaut like Deadpool and Wolverine or Spider-Man. No Way Home to bail things out. Instead, for the first time since the early MCU days back in 2011, not a single comic book movie is crossing the $700 million mark worldwide. That's a major shift. By 2025, superheroes are hitting a troubling 14-year box office low, and fans are taking notice. I mentioned this briefly in another video when talking about the summer box office and how analysts were worried. But now it's everywhere. Articles, reports, commentary. 3 Marvel failures and 1 underperforming DC film don't exactly scream success, no matter how people try to spin it. Some of these movies are struggling to even pass $600 million globally. One ended around $615 million, despite a massive budget and marketing push, falling short of Man of Steel's numbers from over a decade ago, even before adjusting for inflation. To make matters worse, the studio had to rush it to digital just to scrape back some extra revenue. That's the reality of where comic book films stand today. Even titles like Fantastic Four and Superman, which I'd call average at best, not disasters like the Marvels, still couldn't win audiences back. Viewers are simply burned out. Part of it is the sheer volume of content, but another part is that the quality hasn't been strong enough to keep people engaged. Think about it. Thunderbolts didn't even reach $400 million. Captain America, Brave New World barely crawled over that line. Fantastic Four will probably end just past $500 million. Superman may finish around 615 to 620 million with digital sales included. A few years ago, these numbers would have been considered massive disappointments. Remember the reaction to Thor, Love and Thunder? People called it embarrassing, yet it still made about $150 million more than Superman with a similar budget, and that's without even releasing in China. The international numbers back then were coming from markets like the UK and Mexico, not China. So here we are, a very different landscape. And honestly, Marvel and DC have no one to blame but themselves. Audiences have been let down by too many mediocre films. Even with all the hype surrounding James Gunn's new DC universe, all the marketing dollars, all the build-up, industry insiders were talking about a possible billion-dollar run. In the end, it didn't even come close to $800 million. And yet, by default, Superman ends up being the winner of 2025, the strongest comic book movie in what might be the worst year the genre has faced in more than 15 years. Congratulations, I guess. The tallest kid in a very short class.